Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the altcoin show, coming at you daily, 6 days a week. And I want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. And today we're going to talk about an altcoin that may have just had a Lazarus style resurrection. And it's not even Sunday, it's not even Resurrection Sunday. And has this altcoin come back to life? And is it going to take off? We're going to look at that altcoin. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to chart a bunch of altcoins at the end of the show, look at some news. But before we do that, you know what I'm going to say. If you're a regular watcher, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help to support the channel. I also appreciate all the comments, the kind words that people leave in the comments section. I do appreciate that. And I do get back to all the questions that are left there as well as soon as I'm able to. The cheat sheet, which is my crypto roadmap for success, is also in the description of this video and every video. There's also the link to the Discord, the most amazing Discord on the planet. I dropped a bunch of trades in there at about 5 a.m. this morning. And so if you're in the Discord, you can check out all those trades that are in there. And if you want to join me in the Discord and the crypto channel, I'm there daily. There are links below on how you can get signed up for that. Okay, we are going to jump into the news. We're going to jump into what altcoin has had a resurrection just lately, and is Ethereum. Here, ETH breaking out of its range and reclaim reformer resistance, should flip into support there. Okay, likely to target 3,300 on this next move up. I had that target as well, the 3,300 to 3,400. 3,400 is actually my technical target for this particular move. Disclaimer, this is likely if the Ethereum Foundation can stop dumping on our heads for at least 60 days. And this is one of the problems I've had with Ethereum and the leadership there, or the lack of leadership, in my opinion. But I digress. Let's move on. Certainly here, you're still early to catch the Ethereum bull run. Historically, when ETH MVRV, and I've talked about the MVRV multiple times on this channel. I'm not going to go into it on this one, but you can certainly look that up. Crosses its 180-day moving average, signals a period of outperformance. Certainly the cross hasn't happened yet, so there could be some more upside ahead, and I certainly do agree with that statement, as long as the ETH Foundation stops dumping and minting more Ethereum, of course. Disclaimer, found this fractal, the crow. I found this Ethereum fractal from early 2023. Bottom formations are usually the same. And so, yeah, I mean, getting back to its all-time high, maybe a little bit higher there. Certainly, I had those upper price targets eventually for Ethereum of up around 5,400. I feel would be a reasonable target, which is really only less than double from here. So if you're happy with about 100% returns, which we just got actually just over the last couple of days on the Coinbase long trade from our Sunday stock show, we almost got 100% on that one. And Triple A Cat, which was another altcoin that I shared on the Stocks with Josh show, just went and did 100% as well. Then we have this one here, Ethereum prepping for a new all-time high, is breaking out just as the MACD. There's a bullish crossover there. So some more bullish charting for Ethereum. I'm not sure if we'll see it get this high, but certainly up around 7,000. That was my upper target. I have it somewhere between 5,400 and 7,000 there for Ethereum. And then, you bearish? The president owns ETH and you're bearish? I'm not sure this guy likes the president, but anyway, certainly, or the president that was just voted in anyway. Okay, so we're going to jump into Banana Gun as our first charting one here, and it's just very simple here. I'll give this an entry is either at $54 or a break and a retest and hold of $60. It's just simple. That's the simple there. I'm in a couple of banana trades. I'm out of this banana trade. I want to get back in again. I'm in a couple of swing trades, day trades with Banana Gun. Certainly there, but I certainly do like showing this also on the 15-minute chart, because you can see here, and I'll show this here, and I'll show this for everybody who's new, just on one, and then I'll refer to it and you'll know what I'm talking about. But here is where I look to get out of a trade and why. You come up to here and it hits a major resistance, it rejects, and then we have a retest of it as resistance. Okay, it tries it fails the retest as support, and then now there is where I get out of the trade on the rejection candle here at resistance. Now look, it does come back through and eventually it breaks, but there's no retest. It just breaks straight through. So in theory, I teach in this channel, yeah, you could front run it and get in here. You could get in on the break because you still could have made a little bit of money here. But then when it came down, it didn't. When it came down to retest the support, it failed. It failed the retest. And so in theory, it wouldn't even gotten back into this trade. But even if I had gotten back in here and it failed the retest, where do I get out? I'm not getting out down here. I'm getting out on the rejection candle, which is here. It tries to retest it. It fails it here. It's underneath the tribal trades trend line at resistance. It comes back up to retest it and it rejects. So you're getting in and out of the trade at the same place. Of course, when you're sleeping, you can't do that. But certainly otherwise, your stop loss would be what is your acceptable loss that you're going to take on this trade. You know, how much are you prepared to lose? That's a good place to put your stop loss. If you don't want to lose any more than $10, then put your stop loss in a place where you're not going to lose any more than $10. If you don't want to lose any more than $100 on the trade, then put your stop loss where you're not going to lose any more than $100 on the trade, but have a stop loss no matter what that is. So for me, I like trading there. And then you can see here, even if you broke through and you got in this trade here, but there's no successful retest anyway. So, but if you got it on the break, then you can get out on the rejection candle here. You know, 99 times out of 100, I'm telling you, it will come back and retest. Look how many times it retests, comes back to retest, comes back to retest, fails it, now comes back to, and there's two different things. You retest it as support or you break below and you retest as resistance. When you come back and retest as resistance and reject, that's the time to get out of the trade. When you break above it and you come back and retest it as support, that's when you get, and a successful retest as support, that's when you get in the trade. Therefore, you're getting in and out of the trade at exactly the same level, and you're not taking any losses. Of course, if you're sleeping and it drops and then it hits your stop loss, certainly that can happen. I try and be out of trades before I go to bed. And obviously, if you got in this trade when I gave it, which was a long, many moons ago, when I gave this trade back here, you could have just kept moving your stop loss up and up and up. And so really it comes down to, if you get stop loss out, it's about how much profit you're prepared to give back to be stopped out on. Okay, so that's the other way to look. Stop lossing out in profit, of course. Okay, so what is the next one that we are going to look at is our fish friend Blub. Certainly it came up and hit that level there, and there was a rejection. So this is where we go into the 15-minute time frame and say, where would have we gotten out of this? Did it give us a chance to get out? You betcha. The tribal trades trend line, number one, strikes again. And number two, the tribal trades stop loss strategy strikes again. Because look what happens here. We come up and we hit it. And there, where is the retest? There, right there. There's the candle right there, retesting. That's where you get out on the rejection. And that's where you get out in profit. Remember, we got in this trade all the way down here. Sorry, actually all the way down. We got in this trade all the way back down here. 6. I gave this trade, and this is a rockingly good trade right here. If you got on this trade with us, you've made some great profit. And I said the take profit target was at 10. And look what happened. It tagged 10. I'm calling these trades for you exactly on the button, and I'm giving you places. And then, of course, you could have gotten back in the trade at 8, which it came down and tagged. Let's have a look at this. This is just classical trading here. So what you have is you took profit here. Well, you could just take profit there. Look, there's no problem with taking profit. But if you want to then get out of the trade because it's going to come down, and you say, well, what happens if after it rejects, it doesn't come back down to 8 and I don't get back in the trade? Great question. I'm going to answer that. So glad you asked that. And what happens is if this then rejects, and now I'm out of this trade. Okay, I'm out of this trade. It comes back. What if it comes back again and retests but breaks through? then you get back in the trade here at 10, right? After you get back in there at trade and a retest and a successful retest, then you're back in the trade. And then what happens if, and sometimes you see this, you'll see a bit of what they call choppiness, a lot of chop. It's just the market makers just stopping everybody out. I want to be part of that. I'm not going to be a target for them. I'm not going to be in the market makers version of the Hunger Games being hunted. I'm going to get stopped out at break even. So if this now breaks above here, comes back to retest and fails, I then wait for it as it comes down. And is it come back and reject here? If so, I'm out of the trade at break even. If not, and it breaks back above, I can stay in the trade. And I can avoid all this getting stopped in and out, constantly having my account being bled of money, of all the stop losses that I'm losing as a result of that. Of course, the strategy only works while you're awake and are able to give attention to the chart. Certainly, otherwise put an all stop loss. So look, let's look down here and see, did we get an opportunity we get to get in? Okay, here we go. So we would have gotten out of the trade up here at 10, and then we would have gotten back in the trade where? Here? No. On the retest, and look, there it is. I'm telling you, 99 times out of 100, you get that retest, and it was a successful hold. It was a successful hold, and it held there at 8, and now you would be back in the trade, okay? So we came down, we held that as a successful retest. It broke down, and of course, you wouldn't get out of the trade here either. If you got in the trade and you were trying to front run it and just thought, I'll put a buy order there, you wouldn't get out, because when it came back in, what happened? When it retested it as resistance, it didn't reject, it went through. And then when it came back to retest it as support, it held. And that's when you get in the trade. And of course, again, if it breaks down and then retest, you get out. It's just simple. I want it making trading simple again. I need a hat. MTSA, making trading simple again for everybody out there to make money and to not get stop loss out all the time, certainly where you can get in and out. So what are we looking at now? We do have some resistance here. You can move your stop loss up to whatever profit that you don't want to give back, or you can just wait, and if it comes back here, you can add to the trade, or if it breaks down and rejects, you can get out of the trade at break even, or we're coming back up to the trade here at 10 to take some more profit. So there's the Blub trade there. Certainly has been a great one. Let's look at Ethereum and a couple others before we wrap it up. Certainly, look what happened. We got stuck again at the tribal trades trend line, the 200 simple moving average. There is rejection there at that place. Am I getting out of the trade? No. Where would I get out of the trade? Right here at the 200 EMA on the daily. If we were to come down and lose that, which is currently sitting at about 2,765, if we were to break below that and then come back up and retest it as resistance and reject, I'm out of that trade. Where would I get back in the trade? At the 50-day moving average at 2,556, but this is moving up, so that's probably not going to be the level. But where did I give the trade? I gave it here multiple times. As recently as Monday, the 4th of November, I gave this trade at 2,365. I gave it multiple times here back in October, back in September. I gave the trade to be in the trade. Certainly we finally, when we got and retested it, now what I'm looking at here, so certainly this could be an opportunity to take some profits off the table. Some of you are you've said, hey, I have too much ETH, I want to have less ETH. That would be a place where it can be scaling back. So I scaled some back here. So I took 10% off the table here, and I took 20% off the table here. So I've only got 70% of the trade. 30 to 35% of the trade is gone, okay? And I'm only in 65, about 65, 70% of the trade there. Certainly, the next level that I'm looking at here is around that 3,300 to 3,400 level right here. And lo and behold, there's a Lux Algo order block. Okay, so certainly there. And if you miss this trade, a place to get in it would be if it comes back to the 200 EMA on the daily, successfully retest that level and holds, then that could be a place to get in the trade. But certainly there is resistance just above it at 2.9, about 2.955. So certainly right now, because there has been a rejection, that could be a place to get out of the trade for ETH. Certainly if you wanted to get out of Ethereum, and you can see we've had a rejection here. So there's been a pretty strong rejection. We didn't really have a retest and rejection, so we might still get that. So you could get another opportunity to get out and squeeze a little bit more. But yeah, there's $30 here. For me, I was just very happy. I jumped out just around here of about another 20% of my ETH swing position. I got out there, which was great. I'm very happy with that. Certainly, other trades that we have on the table right now, Injective, we just had a break of that $22 range. I have put that, I'm going to show you here for Injective just very quickly. We only got a couple of minutes left and we'll squeeze out as much as we can here. So here's the trade, and certainly you can see there's the break right here. And if we actually hide this here, this is going to become easy to see. And so we have the break, here's the break, and there's the retest right there, and then you get in the trade at around $22. It's not exactly the 200 EMA is actually around about there. Certainly that's where that is. So around $22.05. There's the retest there. That's when you get in the trade. You can certainly get in on the break. You can front run it around here. You get in the break or you get in on the retest, and then we're off to the races in that Injective trade. I gave that one literally. Of course, this stream is a couple of hours delayed. I mean, this price could be up at $23, $24 by the time this goes live. This is why I put these trades in the Discord, so those in the Discord can jump on these trades and get in them right away with the Injective trade there, okay? And then certainly we've got a couple of other trades here. The Say trade, we're certainly looking here. I said either you jump in at 42. What are we looking for? We're looking for a break and a successful retest of 42. If not, the trade there is at, and look, I think we just had a golden cross there as well. We just have a golden cross. We just did have a golden cross on Say, but certainly at 39.9 cents. That's an entry, and we did tag that. So if you go on the entry, but then there's resistance at 42. So that's why I like the 42 entry better, because the 50-day moving average is there as well. So for me personally, I'm going to wait for a break and retest and hold of that 42-cent level for Say. And then just quickly looking at two more, Sui. The simple trade there's a fair value gap there between $2.20 and about $2.12. So certainly we could come back and fill that. Remember, it took 25 days for the last fair value gap for Sui to be filled. Certainly it could fill sooner that later. It may not fill at all. Usually they do get filled. Okay. Certainly, where am I looking? I'm looking at an entry at $2.20. It would need to be a break and a retest of that $20 level there for $2.20 level there for Sui. And we just look at it on the 15-minute chart, you can see multiple rejections here, and that's where you get out of the trade. And that's where I got out of these trades. Very simple. Look at this. Yeah, you had two chances to get out, a retest, another retest there, opportunities to get out of that trade. And then certainly now I'm going to look. There is some support at $2.30. Technically, this could be an area you could wait for a break and a retest and ride that up to $2.36. But certainly, and there is the 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame down at $2.26. But personally, I'm more looking for that $2.20 level down here, where $2.20, if we have a break, that holds as support. Therefore, that would get in. Otherwise, you could wait for a break of $2.36 and then come back, and you could get it on the break. You could get it on the retest if it holds. Then that would be my second place for the entry. I'm going to finish up here with Penza Tau, because there's entry right now here at about $500, but certainly the ride up is to about $535, $540, where the 50-day moving averages. That would be my second place for entry or a take profit if you end up missing this trade. But there is a trade here, right here at $500 or around $500. I actually put it in at $496 or $497. It's tagged that exactly. So if this continues to hold, we can ride this up, and our first take profit would be about 540, and then we'd look at taking profit at 575 or 600. And of course, again, you can wait to take profit, see if it breaks, and if it retests successfully as support, then you can stay in the trade and you don't have to jump in. Maybe you just move your stop loss up to protect that profit. Okay, that's it for today. And as always, until the next episode, happy trading.